Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Kicking off the week. It's another week. It's another time here. And speaking of time, going a little bit later than I normally do. Let me know in those comments if you like it at this time or not. I'm always trying to switch stuff up, see what works best for everybody. Hello to everybody on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Twitch. I see some of you guys joining in the comments right now. Hello to people from Iowa, Chicago, Minnesota. Let me know where you're watching from. So if you missed this last week, I'm starting out a brand new series called Refueled. Because if you don't know, Fueled by Deathcast is our weekly podcast that comes out every single Thursday on the Death Wish Coffee Company. Now, you can go to deathwishcoffee.com, find all of our podcasts right there, which is at deathwishcoffee.com/deathcast. You can also listen to every single episode, including new ones every Thursday on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, and now on Mondays, I'm going to dive into the archives and play some of our favorite clips from some amazing episodes that we've had from the past. And maybe in the future, even show you guys some stuff that never made it to air. So you guys are going to want to keep tuning in for that. Last week, we kicked it off with Bill Burr. That was a lot of fun. I love having him on the show. We had him on the show last season to talk about Season 3 of F is for Family, but Season 4 just came out, so I wanted to celebrate with all you guys as well. This week, we're celebrating one of my favorite guests of all time, Phil X. Now, you can find the full episode at deathwishcoffee.com/PhilX. And if you don't know who Phil X is currently the guitarist for Bon Jovi. And I know you've heard of Bon Jovi. And he also plays in his own band, Phil X and the Drills. And he's played with some incredible people throughout his career. And on that full episode, you get to hear some inspiring stuff from Phil, all about how he started playing guitar and how he just showed up every day to really try his hardest to do it and try to make it in a band, moved to California to really try to make it and ended up doing it. Obviously, he's playing for Bon Jovi now, but that was a lot of hard work and it was a long road to get to where he is today. And we love Phil. In fact, I was speaking to him recently on a recent episode of Fueled by Deathcast. I had actor Greg Grunberg, who you might know from a little movie named Star Wars, was talking about how he's good friends with Phil as well. And Phil and his wife cooked up a bunch of food for their neighbors and dropped it off during the recent quarantine during the pandemic. And I thought how sweet that was. And it got me thinking about this episode again, talking to Phil. This is back in the seasons when I had my co-host Dustin with me, so you'll get to see some Dustin as well. And we've got a really good conversation. It's going to kick off with Phil talking about his time in Phil X and the Drills, which is his side project, and also joining Bon Jovi, replacing Richie Sambora, and what it's like to tour the world with Bon Jovi. And then, as an added bonus, I've got a really fun story from Phil that he told Dustin and I about how he started playing just randomly for Alice Cooper, which turned out to having him featured on almost every track on Alice Cooper's 2000 record, Brutal Planet. And then that led into another job where he played guitar with the legendary Chris Cornell. So I love stories like that. He wasn't even thinking about playing for those guys, and life just threw that opportunity for him, and he took it by the horns, as you'd say. So Phil X is an inspiring dude. We love him here at Death Wish Coffee. If you guys have never seen this episode, here's some exclusive clips from this, and I encourage you when this is over to go check out the full episode on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and right at deathwishcoffee.com/PhilX. So without further ado, here is some awesome clips from our interview with guitarist and all-around killer dude, Phil X.
Fueled by Deathcast.
You always have been, at your core, Phil X. You've always had that sound, had that mentality. But you've, worked with so many amazing people throughout the years. Has has there been a project that has, I guess, influenced you or your playing more than any of it, or have you always just stayed true to yourself through it all?
I think, I know my place, which is also key. Like deliver and wow people, but know your place.
Yeah.
Like I'm FUELED and the Drills is my favorite project because it's my passion. I write the songs, I sing, and it's just a 3-piece, and I love that.
Yeah.
And then early on, I always wanted a singer because I love the Zeppelin, Black Sabbath makeup. 3 guys rocking out and a singer out front. The cock's out, the vocals out, the band rocks, everything's awesome. But we could never find a singer that sang better than me. And I was like, this guy's good. And they're like, well, he's not as good as you. I'm like, I really want a singer. But I accepted my fate later on in life. And I love the 3-piece. I love how it works.
Yeah.
But and then I read something. It was an interview with Harold Ramis, the writer and director.
And
Ghostbusters, Groundhog,
yeah.
actor, all that stuff. And the question that he got was about, hey, remember doing stand-up? What was that like? And he goes, for me, it was all about killing. But not just killing the audience. It was about killing all the other comedians on that stage that night, too. And I'm like, that's how I feel. I want the audience to forget the band that played before us, and I want to scare the band that has to follow us.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's how it should be done. That everybody should have that mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just go out and destroy. And I was even, but people are like, okay, you do that with the Drills, but what about Bon Jovi? I go, hey, that's John's job.
Yeah.
I'm taking the back seat. And again, that's knowing your place.
Yeah.
Nobody had to tell me what to do and what not to do when I filled in for Richie the first time in 2011. It was just, okay, I'm going to learn the show. I'm going to, and you can't just learn records. You have to watch. They sent me like DVDs of current shows.
Yeah.
So I can watch, because John does this cue thing, he does this jukebox thing, he does that thing, and you got to watch and be ready for anything, and and ingrain it into your brain. But then at the same time, if Richie's doing the solo like the record, that's what I'll do. And if he goes out on a limb and strays a little bit, I'll kind of do that too.
Yeah.
But you can't mess with the solo in Living on a Prayer or Born to Be My Baby. Those are like,
Right.
Those are the solos of the songs of our youth.
Right.
So you don't stray from that. But when we do Keep the Faith, I'm going to start it like Richie, and then I'm going to go out and do a little bit of my own thing. But again, full FUELED doesn't work.
Right.
So, and the way I describe it is, if this is Richie and this is me, there's a guy in the middle that shows up.
Yeah.
And does a gig because he knows his place.
You were so much of a good fit as someone stepping into this role, for those couple years, and now as an official member of the band. I just wanted to know, like, was that something that was kind of always happening? Was the writing on the wall? Because I mean, we all know the story that unfortunately with Richie and what he was going through and stuff like that, and as fans of the band throughout all the years, like, I'm so happy that you guys are at the powerhouse that you still are and are still able to do that. But was it a surprise for you to join full time, or was that writing kind of on the wall when that happened?
It's I don't know, man. I'm still surprised when somebody comes up for an autograph and opens up the vinyl jacket and says, "Can you sign right by your face?" That's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah.
And then they're giving tours to the VIP. They give them a tour backstage, and I might be talking to my guitar tech, Mark, about changing a pickup in one of the guitars for that night's show and stuff. And then I'm taking photos, and then somebody walks up and my face is on a t-shirt. That's still crazy.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to I don't think I'm full in 100%. I know it might sound weird. It might sound, yeah, you're full of shit. But I seriously, I'm still kind of like,
Do you
right.
do you think you're
It still
keeping?
seems like a for now thing.
Yeah. Do you think you're keeping that mindset because it's
Rock and
perhaps
roll, and everybody
healthy?
does reunion tours.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
That's the biggest paycheck, man.
yeah.
Reunion tours.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Even when I had a band in LA, and you open the LA Weekly, and there's literally 40,000 bands playing 200 venues a week, you have to do something to stand out. And so walking into the studio, and you get past, you have to have this mentality. You have to have this mentality of, I'm just going to kill it. There's no choice, there's no option.
Right.
You walk in, and Bob literally looked at me, still working on this Alice Cooper record, and the first song was Brutal Planet. He goes, okay, I played all the rhythm guitars and the bass myself. I just need some pixie dust. Go. And he playing press, play and record just to see what I come up with on the spot. And at first I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm like, fuck you. And then I start doing something. And he was, wow, that was great. Let's double it. I'm like, whoa, I have to hear it because I don't know what I did. Because it was that fast.
Yeah.
But then again, it led to different things. And by the ninth song, you're like, um, what can I do now? Right? You want to keep the motion going, the momentum going. And he's like, okay, I really need a really interesting thing for this. And that's when I come up with, okay, you got a flat head screwdriver? And he's like, yeah. So I unscrew the pickup in the neck, the screw of the neck pickup that's in the neck pickup on this Les Paul. And I tuck the high E string under the screw and tighten the screw onto the nut, onto the string, and tune it to a high note that's in this low riff that I'm playing. So it would sound like nobody, if you heard it, you probably couldn't figure out what the hell it is, right? So, that kind of thing.
Oh, have you done? Did you do that before that moment?
No, that was on the spot.
Wow, what made you think of that?
I don't know, man. I was in the mode. I was
Yeah.
in the Gandalf guitar mode.
That's awesome.
So, and then that story started circulating.
Right.
Like, then I'm out somewhere, and the singer of one band comes up, another band that Bob did, and he comes up to me and he goes, "Are you Phil X?" I'm like, "Yeah." "You did that thing with the string and the screw and the thing and the pickup and the thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Dude, you say the word, man. I'll kick my guitar player out. You're in." I'm like, "Okay, but I don't need a gig right now, but thanks." And they were doing actually really well at the time too. So, but whether he meant it, I don't know. But it started circulating, and that must have been 2000, I think. And I finally met Alice Cooper last year.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my God! You did. Oh, he wasn't even.
He wasn't in the studio. He was out in
Whoa.
Australia doing something. So finally meet, and I'm finally just, hey, I'm Phil X, and I did all that crazy guitar stuff on Brutal Planet. And he goes, "Oh, I heard stories.
Wow.
Bob said you came in and cleaned it up." And I'm like, "Oh, that's really nice too. Thanks, man. I've been a fan since I was a kid."
Yeah.
So that kind of stuff really happens. It's dream come true shit. Like, and that's another thing that I try to tell the young musicians. Right? If you work really hard, your rewards are limitless.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. Anything.
Yeah.
You could play with your hero. You could play with your favorite artist. I didn't know that. I was doing a lot of work for Howard Benson at the time, and he calls in and he goes, "Hey, we're doing a song with Chris Cornell. You in?" And I'm like, "What?" Yes, 1,000 times yes. And when? What day? When? What time? Where do I got to be? What am I bringing? And that was that. And it was like an incredible experience. Just one song with Chris Cornell, and
What
it
was
was
the
like
song?
it was. He did a whole record with Timbaland.
Oh yeah.
And so the record company wanted a rock version of one of the songs, the single, which was Long Gone. And I got to admit, I think I brought my A game. I brought my triple A plus game.
Yeah.
And then and Chris wasn't there. It was like the Alice Cooper thing. Okay. So I'm working on a Chris Cornell song, but I'm not going to meet him. But at least I'm playing in the studio, and his voice is coming out of the speakers. So I'm like, it's surreal, like that. Just as that happens, the voice coming out of the speakers, and I'm, oh man, this is amazing. And then they called and they said, hey, Chris wants to come in tomorrow night, and be here when you do the solo. Is that cool? And I'm like, um, this kind of stuff. With your arm hair stand up, you've got goosebumps, and you can't speak. It happens even now. So I came in, and he was sitting on the couch, and I'm like, how do you break the ice with Chris Cornell, right? How do you do it? So I'm like, okay, well, I tried this thing that I do called bazooka tuning with like 2 strings go into the 1 nut notch. I'm getting a little technical, and you tune it to the same pitch, and it sounds like a bazooki. So that's why I call it bazooka tuning, and that's something I came up with a long time ago. So I thought I would do that, and so I started doing a solo. And when I'm in the studio, it's like I'm on stage. If I lay down a solo, I'm like bouncing around the room and just like that. So I'm thinking, okay, this is what I do. I'll just do it. And then I lay down a take, and I look at him, and he's like, that was really cool, but I think you need a little more gain. I go, yeah, but it looked good, right? So that's how I broke the ice. He laughed. It was funny.
That's so freaking cool. I'm so glad that you guys got to experience that. That brought up back a bunch of memories. Phil X is just a giant kid when it comes to playing guitar. He loves what he does, and he's really inspiring to hear him talk. Once again, if you want to see that or hear that whole episode, you can go to deathwishcoffee.com/PhilX to check it out on Fueled by Deathcast, or, of course, it is on Spotify and Apple as well. And go down that Phil X rabbit hole, too, on YouTube, or follow him on Instagram. It's really, really fun to watch him because he's always playing guitar. He's always coming out with fun videos. And literally 90% of the time, he's wearing a Death Wish Coffee t-shirt. It's so funny. In fact, the last time that he got home from a Bon Jovi world tour, I talked to him, and this was last year, obviously before the pandemic. I had talked to him, and he was like, hey, man, can you send me another shirt? I wore out the one that I had because he just wore it all the time. It was so funny. And it's just awesome. So mugs up to Phil. Mugs up to all of you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this new little segment, Refueled, where we go through the archives of Fueled by Deathcast. Don't forget, every single Thursday, check out new episodes of Fueled by Deathcast wherever podcasts are found, including deathwishcoffee.com/Deathcast. Got a good one coming out this week. Gonna have to wait to see who that guest is. And I will see you guys again in the live, probably on Wednesday. Tell you about some new products coming out from Death Wish Coffee. I hope the rest of your Monday is wonderful. And you just power through this week. We got this, everybody. Mugs up. See you guys later. Bye.